Okay, so let's dive right into this.
Right.
You've been looking into auto insurance in Canada,
Yeah.
especially in Ontario and Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to kind of get a handle on what other consumers are saying.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got some really interesting information for you from a recent survey by Rates.ca and Polaris Strategic Insights.
Okay.
They surveyed over 12,600 auto insurance customers.
Wow.
So
That's a lot.
yeah, it's a pretty solid snapshot of
Is
what's
it?
going on.
For sure.
The findings are really quite intriguing, especially considering, rising insurance rates.
Absolutely.
We're seeing double-digit rate increases in both Ontario and Alberta,
Yeah.
13% and 12% respectively.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think that would make people pretty unhappy with their insurance companies.
Right.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Overall satisfaction actually improved in 2024,
Mm-hmm.
hitting 82%.
Wow.
And get this, 76% of customers said they consider their insurer trustworthy.
It's kind of paradoxical.
It isn't.
It is a paradox. It suggests that maybe there are other factors that are influencing customer satisfaction beyond just the price.
Right. What's going on here?
Well, the survey looked into some really interesting areas like communication preferences and the use of technology,
Okay.
which might offer some clues.
Yeah.
It seems companies are getting better at tailoring their communication to individual customer needs.
Mm-hmm.
For example, are you someone who prefers a quick phone call?
Yeah.
Or do you like to handle things digitally through an app?
So you're saying it's not just about what information they're giving you, but how they're delivering it.
Exactly.
That personalization aspect could be a big factor.
Absolutely. And the survey actually found that people who were able to communicate with their insurer through their preferred channel were significantly more satisfied.
Okay.
Like way more satisfied.
Interesting.
85% satisfaction rate compared to 70% for those who weren't communicating via their preferred method.
Wow.
That's a pretty substantial difference.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if some of those companies that scored high on trustworthiness,
Right.
like CAA Insurance and Gore Mutual, are really nailing this communication thing.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe they're leading the pack in offering a multi-channel strategy,
Yeah.
giving customers the flexibility to choose how they interact.
So even in our digital age, the human touch still matters.
Yeah.
The survey found that those who had spoken to a live person were actually slightly more satisfied than those who relied solely on apps, websites, or email.
That is fascinating.
It's interesting.
It's not that technology is bad, of course.
Right.
But it seems people still crave that human connection, especially when dealing with something as important as insurance.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance between digital efficiency and personalized service.
Absolutely. And speaking of tech, let's talk about this whole usage-based insurance thing, or UBI as the cool kids call it.
Oh, yeah. UBI.
It's basically where they track your driving habits, usually through an app, and adjust your rates accordingly.
Yeah, it's an intriguing development.
It is.
It utilizes telematics, which involves using technology to gather and transmit data about vehicles and their usage.
Okay.
This data can include things like speed braking patterns, mileage, and even the time of day you're driving.
So they're using tech to paint a picture of how good or bad of a driver you are and pricing your insurance based on that individual risk.
Yeah, basically.
Sounds pretty futuristic, but does it actually make people happier with their insurance?
Well, according to the survey, yes.
Really?
UBI policyholders reported a significantly higher satisfaction rate,
Interesting.
89% compared to 81% for those without UBI.
So is it just about the potential for saving money? Or is there something more at play here?
It's likely a combination of factors.
Okay.
On a practical level, the possibility of lower premiums is certainly appealing.
Sure.
But I think UBI also taps into something more psychological.
Okay.
It offers a sense of fairness. The idea that you're being charged based on your own driving behavior, not just lumped into a broad risk category.
Like, hey, I'm a safe driver, so I should be rewarded for that.
Exactly.
And maybe it even makes people more conscious of their driving habits,
Right.
leading to safer roads overall.
It encourages a level of self-awareness
Yeah.
and potentially motivates people to adopt safer driving practices.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Even with all this potential UBI adoption,
Yeah.
it's still pretty low.
Yeah, that's true.
Only 28% of those surveyed said they'd consider it even with a 5% discount.
That's where things get interesting.
Yeah.
It suggests there's still work to be done in terms of education and transparency.
Uh-huh.
Many people might not fully understand how UBI works.
Right.
or have concerns about data privacy.
Like, who's looking at my driving data and what are they doing with it?
Exactly.
That's a valid concern.
It is.
It seems like insurance companies need to do a better job of explaining the benefits of UBI and addressing those privacy concerns head on.
Absolutely. They need to build trust
Yeah.
and demonstrate the value proposition of UBI beyond just cost saving.
Okay, so we've talked about trust communication and the rise of tech like UBI.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the actual service?
Sure.
How did the different companies stack up in terms of things like claims experience and policy clarity?
Well, the survey covered those areas as well.
Okay.
It seems some familiar names consistently ranked high across the board.
Give us the inside scoop.
CAA, Insurance, Gore Mutual, and Intact were frequent top performers.
Mhm.
They consistently scored high in categories like best overall, best auto claims experience, best policy documents, and best billing statements.
So it sounds like these companies are doing a lot of things right. They're
Yeah.
not just focusing on one aspect of the customer experience.
Right.
They're striving for excellence across the board.
It's about a holistic approach to customer service.
Yes.
They're building trust by making the entire experience, from understanding your policy to dealing with a claim, as seamless and positive as possible.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
but I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much more to uncover in this ever-evolving world of auto insurance.
Absolutely.
We're just getting started.
Indeed, we've only just begun to scratch the surface.
Okay.
There's a whole world of emerging trends and technological advancements that are shaping the future of this industry.
Okay,
And that's what we'll be diving into next.
okay, can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.